Welcome to English Pathway, where learning English is an adventure. Today, we embark on the captivating tale of one of history's most divisive figures, Adolf Hitler. Whether you admire or despise him, his journey is packed with aspirations, setbacks, determination, and authority. From a young boy with grand ambitions to a man who reshaped the globe, this is Adolf Hitler's story told in a way you've never experienced before. Are you prepared? Put on your earphones, relax, and let's plunge into this fascinating narrative that will enhance your English skills and keep you engaged until the very end. It all began on April 20, 1889, in a quaint Austrian town called Braunau am Inn. A newborn son was welcomed by Alois and Clara Hitler, and they named him Adolf. No one could have predicted that this child would one day alter the course of history. As a young boy, Adolf was unremarkable. He enjoyed outdoor games, sketching, and dreaming of a grand future. But life was far from ideal. His father, Alois, was stern and demanding, insisting that Adolf focus on academics and secure a government position like his own. However, Adolf had a different vision. "I want to be an artist," he confided in his mother, Clara, who cherished him and encouraged his passion, though she couldn't sway Alois. Adolf's early years were marked by constant clashes with his father, who would yell, "Art isn't a proper career." Adolf remained silent, concealing his pain. At 13, his father passed away unexpectedly. Some believed this would liberate Adolf, but the loss left him with an emotional void. Adolf began neglecting his studies. Once a promising student, he lost interest, and his teachers remarked, "Adolf is intelligent but lacks effort." His only focus was drawing. After completing school, Adolf packed up and moved to Vienna, Austria's vibrant capital. He was thrilled, thinking, "Vienna is the hub of creativity. I'll become a renowned artist here." He applied to the prestigious Academy of Fine Arts, but when the results arrived, his dreams shattered. The Academy rejected him, stating, "Your work doesn't meet our standards." Feeling humiliated, Adolf vowed, "I'll try again." But the following year, he faced rejection once more. Devastated and without education or employment, Adolf's life grew tough. He lived in cramped, grimy rooms and occasionally slept on the streets. To survive, he painted postcards for tourists, earning meager coins. Why is life so unjust? He often wondered. During this period, Adolf's mother passed away, leaving him isolated and resentful. He began pointing fingers at others for his misfortunes, muttering, "It's not my fault." In 1914, everything shifted. World War I broke out, and Adolf saw an opportunity to give his life purpose. He enlisted in the German army, where he thrived. "At last, I'm part of something significant," he thought. Adolf was courageous, delivering messages across perilous battlefields and earning 2 medals for bravery. But in 1918, Germany's defeat left Adolf enraged. "Our leaders failed us," he exclaimed, convinced that Germany needed a powerful leader to restore its glory. After the war, Adolf returned to a Germany in turmoil. Poverty and hunger plagued the nation, and many were bitter about the war's outcome. Adolf saw this as his moment. He joined a small political group called the German Workers' Party. Adolf's oratory skills were magnetic. His speeches, filled with fury, zeal, and bold promises, captivated audiences. "Germany will rise again," he declared, and gradually, his following grew. He renamed the group the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party, and created its emblem, a red banner with a black swastika. "This will be the world's most iconic symbol," he proclaimed. His speeches drew massive crowds. Thousands flocked to hear him, inspired by his vision of a mighty Germany. Yet, his ideas were perilous, scapegoating certain communities for Germany's woes and advocating for a purely German nation. Post-World War I, Germany faced immense hardship. Jobs were scarce, food prices soared, and families struggled. The nation was burdened with heavy reparations for losing the war, fueling widespread anger and despair. Adolf capitalized on this suffering. "You're not to blame," he told the people, pointing fingers elsewhere. His words sparked hope but also stoked resentment. His name began to gain traction. Adolf tirelessly expanded his party, organizing large rallies and delivering fiery, heartfelt speeches. "Germany will be great again," he roared, met with cheers and applause as people embraced his vision. In 1923, Adolf attempted to seize control of the German government in an event called the Beer Hall Putsch. It failed, and he was imprisoned for 9 months. While incarcerated, Adolf penned Mein Kampf, or My Struggle, outlining his beliefs. He argued that Germany must reclaim its strength and labeled certain groups as enemies. The book gained popularity, spreading his ideology. Upon release, Adolf intensified his efforts. The Nazi Party grew more influential, and by 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany, the nation's highest leader, marking a new era. He promised employment, a robust military, and a prosperous future. The people believed in him, unaware of his darker intentions. As Chancellor, Adolf introduced sweeping reforms. He oversaw the construction of roads, factories, and schools, boosting employment and restoring Germany's strength. The public rejoiced, proclaiming, "Hitler is our savior." But behind these achievements, Adolf harbored sinister plans. He controlled media, education, and public discourse, decreeing, "Only trust in Adolf Hitler." Dissenters faced punishment or imprisonment. He established a formidable military force, the SS, and a youth organization, the Hitler Youth, trained to fight and promote Nazi ideals across Germany. The swastika became a symbol of his dominance. Adolf's orations grew even more commanding. "Germany is supreme. We will dominate the world," he proclaimed, as crowds roared, "Heil Hitler." In 1939, Adolf made a daring move, ordering the invasion of Poland, igniting World War II. His ambition was to conquer Europe and establish Germany as the world's greatest power. Initially, his forces achieved numerous victories, showcasing their strength and discipline. But as the war progressed, mistakes piled up, and Adolf's adversaries grew stronger. During the war, Adolf orchestrated a horrific campaign. He sought to eliminate Jewish people and others he deemed unfit for his vision of Germany. This tragedy, known as the Holocaust, remains one of history's darkest chapters, with millions of innocent lives lost in camps. By 1944, Germany's fortunes reversed. Adolf's enemies, including the United States, the Soviet Union, and Britain, overwhelmed his forces. German cities were bombed relentlessly, and the public's faith in Adolf waned. Adolf grew distrustful, retreating to his bunker. By 1944, Adolf Hitler's vision of global domination was crumbling. His once invincible army suffered defeats on all fronts. The Soviet Union pushed back from the east, while American and British forces advanced from the west. German cities faced constant bombardment. Families lost everything, and many questioned, why did we trust him? Yet Adolf remained defiant, issuing orders from his bunker. "We will never surrender," he insisted, though he privately acknowledged defeat was near. In early 1945, Adolf secluded himself in a Berlin bunker, a cold, shadowy refuge from the bombs. He spent his days strategizing despite dwindling hope. He wasn't alone. His loyal followers, including his partner, Eva Braun, stayed by his side. Eva, who had loved him for years despite their secretive relationship, remained devoted even in these grim times. As gunfire echoed closer each day, the Soviet army neared Berlin. Advisors whispered, "It's over." World leaders urged Adolf to surrender to spare Germany further suffering, but he refused, viewing surrender as weakness. "If Germany falls, it's because the people failed," he said callously. By April 1945, Berlin was encircled. The Soviet army attacked relentlessly, reducing buildings to rubble and igniting chaos. On April 29, 1945, Adolf made an unexpected choice. He married Eva Braun in a modest bunker ceremony. "You've always stood by me, Eva," he said. She smiled, despite the bleak moment. After their marriage, Adolf and Eva reflected on their lives and actions, aware that the end was imminent. On April 30, 1945, Adolf made his final decision. He gathered his closest allies and declared, "I won't be taken alive." Believing death was better than capture, he and Eva retreated to a private room and ended their lives. Adolf was 56. Soviet soldiers later found their bodies in the bunker. The war in Europe concluded soon after, with Germany's surrender on May 8, 1945, leaving the nation in ruins. Adolf's dream of a powerful Germany brought devastation and grief instead. His actions led to the loss of millions of lives. In the aftermath, the world began to rebuild. Germany transformed into a peaceful nation, and the horrors of the Holocaust and World War II were remembered to prevent their recurrence. Today, Adolf Hitler's name serves as a warning of the perils of hatred, unchecked ambition, and abused power. His story reminds us that our choices shape our destiny. Adolf's decisions caused immense suffering for millions. This underscores the importance of every action, no matter how small. We must act thoughtfully, considering the consequences for others. Compassion and unity are vital, as hatred and division only destroy. The world thrives when we unite, respect one another, and strive for peace. Life is too brief for anger and prejudice. Through kindness and empathy, we can build a hopeful future, free from regret. So, always choose love over hatred, humility over arrogance, and unity over division. These simple principles can transform our world for the better. This was the story of Adolf Hitler, a man whose life altered the world. It's a tale of ambition, power, and the errors that led to catastrophe. History isn't just about the past, it guides us toward a better future. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to English Pathway for more thrilling stories that make learning English an adventure. Until next time.